Imagine walking into a barber shop for a shave, and walking out stitched up from surgery. No, this isn't some twisted horror story. This was normal life just a few hundred years ago. Welcome to the world of the barber surgeons, the men who not only trimmed your beard but also pulled your teeth, lanced your boils, stitched your wounds, and even amputated limbs. These were the OG multitaskers. And somehow, for centuries, society was totally okay with that. Let's rewind to medieval Europe, where the concept of medicine was still mixed with superstition, and physicians were mostly educated elites who didn't want to get their hands dirty. Literally. They would diagnose and prescribe, but wouldn't dare perform surgery. That was considered manual labor, beneath them. Enter the barber. Barbers already had razors and steady hands, and most importantly, they were accessible. Over time, the public began trusting them with minor procedures, bloodletting, tooth extractions, treating battlefield injuries. And thus, a strange fusion was born, the barber-surgeon. Their shops were easily recognizable by the now iconic barber pole, red for blood, white for bandages, and sometimes blue to symbolize veins or loyalty to the American flag in US versions. That swirling pole? It's a visual echo of when patients would squeeze a staff to make their veins pop before being bled. The pole was literally something they gripped during procedures. Let's talk bloodletting. It was considered a cure-all. Fever? Cut a vein. Headache? Time to bleed. Infection? Bleed it out. And barbers would do this routinely, using leeches or sharp tools. They also performed cupping, trepanation, cutting into the skull, and even amputations without anesthesia. On battlefields, barbers became essential for treating soldiers. Their kits included knives, forceps, saws, and cauterizing irons, brutal, basic, and often done fast, because the patient was fully awake and screaming. Over time, guilds formed, like the Worshipful Company of Barbers in London, established in the 1300s. By the 1500s, they were merging with actual surgeons, creating bizarre hybrids of formal medicine and street-level practice. Even Henry VIII passed laws regulating barber surgeons. But as science advanced, the fields slowly separated. Anesthesia, sterilization, and formal training became standard, and the barber was pushed back to hair and beard duty. By the late 1700s, surgery had become more professionalized, and the barber-surgeon era faded into history. Still, the legacy lives on, especially in that swirling red and white pole. What's wild is that in some places, this overlap persisted into the 1800s. In rural areas without hospitals, you might still find a barber pulling a tooth or draining a cyst. And around the world, echoes of this profession still exist in underground or underserved communities. This isn't just about history, it's about how society decides who's allowed to heal, who's trusted with a blade, and how desperation creates strange hybrids of necessity and tradition. And maybe next time you're in a barbershop, sitting under that classic striped pole, You wonder, what stories are hiding in those red and white spirals? Stay curious, and if this blew your mind, hit that like button, share with someone who needs to know this, and subscribe to CONCURDAWRLD for more insane real-world history every week.